Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome. I'm Ashley. I'm a homeschooling mom with 7 kiddos. We are going on we just started our 4th year of homeschooling. We were previously in public school, my 2 older ones were, and here we are a few years later. So I do get quite a bit of questions, whether it's either on, just through friends or whoever, asking how I homeschool different grades, different ages, obviously, at one time. So I struggle with this quite a bit, and it's hard, and I feel like each year is different because I have different kids, different kids in different grades. I mean, each year it just changes so drastically sometimes. And he is loud. Okay, so this year, before the school year started, I went on Etsy, and I will link this shop and this product. I think I can link the product, but if not, I'll link the shop down below that where I purchased this from. My biggest, I guess, take from whatever I picked, whatever schedule outline I picked, is that I didn't want it to have times like, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, 11 to 12. I wanted to be able to edit that because that's not how we homeschool. We homeschool on a flow type schedule. And so I found this to be the best one that I found. If I had all the time in the world, I would make this up. And ideally, I would like to, be fun and creative and make these things up, but I just wasn't about that right now. So these are ones that I purchased, and I just have 3 of my kids as kind of an example. So I have a 7th grader, a 4th grader, a 1st grader, a kindergartner, which I'm still kind of doing some preschool concepts on that he didn't quite grasp last year, but he's doing great in math, which is a kinder level. So I'm keeping it kinder for now, and I think maybe it's more of like a kinder bridge. I might do a video on that separately because it's something that I've kind of thought about. I have had one kid that's done a kinder bridge program in a private preschool, and I don't know yet. We'll see. A 3-year-old who is doing kind of starting preschool concepts, and then an almost 2-year-old and an almost 1-year-old. So 5 total that are actually doing schoolwork, I guess you could say. So I have my 4th graders in front of me here. So what I like about this is that I was able to edit it and do, instead of a specific time, I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth, based on how many, subjects, how many things we're doing. So for example, I grouped vocabulary and spelling together, and those independent things, which I also have similar on my 7th graders, independent work at the beginning of the day, so that I can work with the little kids as far as, whether it's a morning binder or whether it's handwriting, but things that I can work with them on while I don't have to be preoccupied with my older kids and helping them with anything. So I kind of did that. I alternate, and I will do independent work for one group of kids, and then anything that my kids might need help on is done at the same time. So I basically switch back and forth. So then we have math, then we have language arts, then we have handwriting, and then I alternate the science and history. Those are family subjects, but the Texas history that I'm doing this year is not quite for my little kids yet. I have some stuff that if they are listening and they want to color and do something that's related to the topic, then I will have that, but it is not something that I am going to force them to do. Their attention span stops right about here. So anyway, and then I have a few other things that are family related. So I do like the most important stuff at the top, and then kind of dwindle down here. I have extras down here that I wanted to put on here. So for example, for my fourth grader, we have readers, piano. I'm doing like the app, the piano app, anytime she wants to do that. Adventure Academy, Brain Quest, like the workbooks, and then practicing times tables. So these are things that she would do in between here, or if she wanted to do them extra is fine, but in between here, if she's done with something and I'm not quite ready to help her, if she needs help and I'm not quite ready yet, then she can go to her extras and see if there's anything that she can do there. So basically how I've done it is I have switched back and forth. Like I said, my two older ones are a little bit more self-sufficient, my seventh grader and my fourth grader. And so when they're doing their independent work, I will do the kind of what I need to teach with my younger kids. So this is an example of my first grader. So they have the pretty like rainbowish ones for the girls, and then they have boys, they have like the blue and the green, which I'll show you in a second for that one. So this is my first grader. So morning binder, they will all, the three of them, little ones, will do together. And so I help with that. But there are some things in there that I will say, okay, I want you to do this, and I give them the directions, and then they do it, and it takes them a little bit of time. So as long as they know the directions, they can follow it pretty easily. Math, language arts. So I pretty much go back and forth with my kindergartner and my first grader. They are doing math at the same time usually, but their lessons are so simple, like simply laid out, and so short, that if there's something that we're struggling with, I can have my other younger kids work on, an early learning like binder or color, or do something like that. But I try and group those kids together, those three kids together. And then it's much easier to go back and forth somewhat on the same level as far as math and as far as reading or things like that, as opposed to going from seventh grade math to first grade math. It just works out that way. And so, like I said, their attention spans as little younger kids are a lot shorter than my older kids. So getting everything done earlier works a lot better for me. So obviously hers are less because she doesn't have as many things, and any family subjects I put in here as well if she wanted to partake in them. I am not forcing that on her right now. And then Fridays, we still do this. I'm actually going to alter this a little bit because I don't know if we're going to do language arts on Friday. We did math, and that worked. And we did drawing or art. All five of those kids did that. Health, I actually did some yesterday, so I might kind of adjust this a little bit and see. Her extras would be readers, workbooks, and ABC Mouse. I have, this one is my youngest that I'm teaching, so my 3.5-year-old, so his only has like 4 here. Same thing as the others, the morning binder and little handwriting. Any workbooks, that's pretty much my lifesaver as far as keeping him busy, because if I go over like the Velcro binders, with the Velcro backings or whatever, shapes, coloring, if I just tell him I need you to color this color, and then when he's done, he comes to me. So it's easier that way to, like I said, group all the little kids. So that's kind of how I do my my older kids and my little kids, because I have such a broad range. But just keeping in mind that alternating back and forth, my older two will take longer, obviously, because they have more work to do. And any family subjects that the younger ones don't partake in, I can do later on in the day while the other ones are doing something else, watching a movie or something. So I have found that this has worked pretty well so far, with a few tweaks that I'm going to do for next week. But I think that this is pretty much what I'm going to stick with. It is hard to go back and forth sometimes with the little kids. My youngest one is very like, okay, I've done a letter, I'm done, now what? Okay, go to the next letter, go to the next, finish that work, finish tracing. He likes to trace, he likes to color. Finish that and then come to me, as opposed to each letter and then come to me. So that's kind of, that'll just kind of be like a trial and error, just kind of making him a little bit more independent as it comes to that. When I tell you what to do it, finish it, and then come to me. Don't come to me halfway through, okay? So that's kind of how we do it. I have my younger kids doing their, core stuff in the mornings, and then early on. And then my older kids doing their independent work at that time so that I can focus on the little kids. And then we kind of switch. So sometimes it's been going past lunch, and that's fine, because I just want to make sure that we don't have to play catch up or anything like that. And so far we've done pretty well. So I will link this below. It sounds easy, and it's not always easy. There is a lot of back and forth. There is a lot of, every day is different, and you just have to kind of go with the flow half the time. And that is why I do a flow and not a schedule hour by hour, because there are so many different factors in my days every single day. And my kids have meltdowns, and my kids have questions, and my kids have temper tantrums, and my kids have, where they're not focusing. And then some days are great. So, you take it with a grain of salt. You do what you can do. You do not stress yourself out. I know a lot of people do. Obviously, it's, easier said than done sometimes. But just knowing that it will get done. It will get done. And the schedule is not in stone. If my older kids are done with something up here and they want to go down to number 4 or 5, or do handwriting down at number 4, they can do that. I'm fine with that. This is just kind of a base to where they can go off of and see what is next. So that is how I do all my kids kind of at one time schooling. And like I said, I will link this down below so that if you wanted to purchase this off Etsy, then I will link that for you so you can. If you have any questions, let me know. Any comments, any questions at all, specific as you want to get is fine. Like I said, I have such a wide variety, a wide range of ages here that really, if it's 7th grade or 6th grade or younger, I've been there. So, okay, guys, let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I will see you next time. Bye.